Hello and welcome to Traffic Talks. My name is Pyro and I talk about what's going on in my life, usually with a lesson I've learned, some tips and tricks you can follow that helped me, and a lot of laughs in each episode. If this sounds like something you would enjoy hearing, feel free to follow the podcast, subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and to see what I'm up to, you can check out my Instagram page linked below. Bye! Hello and welcome back to Traffic Talks. This is the final episode for November and it is a goals / catch-up episode. And the funny thing about this year, as previously mentioned, was that it has been a difficult year just overall. And the one thing I mentioned in my previous goals was that I'm just going to do what I can and not stress about eventually reaching that goals within a certain time limit. It was more about habit building, and that has actually paid off more than actually achieving these goals. One thing that tends to limit us is certain aspects. For example, I have my goals list in front of me of the things I wanted to achieve. And the first thing is knit a winter jacket cardigan thing. And I do love knitting. However, the one I wanted to knit required a whole other kind of knitting needle. And I'm just like, no, I don't want to do that. So I've actually changed the idea from knitting to crocheting, which means I now need crocheting needles as opposed to the knitting needles. But long story short, I'm still gonna do it. I'm just going about it a different way. And that is fine. Another goal of mine was to save up for my house. I'm still on track with that. I've changed up my budget because of different financial things I have to pay for. And I'm not saving up as much. So my trajectory has been shot, but I'm still doing a little bit towards that every single month. Getting my finances in order, I will be doing a full episode on that in February, because February is the end of our financial year in South Africa and March starts the new financial year. So I will be doing something about that there. But for the most part, my finances have fluctuated greatly over this year because of various reasons. I got a raise, which I've mentioned a million times. I have gotten some unforeseen circumstances that have happened and have resulted in unexpected expenses, like the funeral I had to fork out for, all sorts of things while I was there. Getting there was also an expense. Staying there was an expense. There was just a lot going on in this last few weeks, let alone months. Preparing for Christmas is always a financial burden, not just because of the gifts and things itself. I try to keep it minimal and I prepare well the rest of the year. But there are a lot of other things that tend to just pop up like, oh, I like that, I want that, I'm going to buy that. Budget is shot because you didn't expect to spend that much on that particular item. And I always keep a little bit of cushion in my budget just because I do try and stay under my expenses, but it doesn't always work. Or for example, my sister might need money because hers hasn't cleared yet, so she'll then borrow the money from me and then just pay me back. But I don't have access to that money if I need it. So that could cause issues. And it's just been an uphill battle financially this year for me. Not that I'm doing badly, just that things have fluctuated a bit more. So I definitely want to get some stability in there, which I'm still working on. I think I've built in a lot of cushions and padding, so to speak. For example, I didn't use any of my Black Friday money that I had been saving up for the year. So I do have that to put towards other things, and I'm very grateful for that. My main thing is because it's already in a savings pocket, it's earning interest, it's working, I might as well just leave it there for next year. But as I said, I'll get into that next year. Another thing was getting a different job. Haven't been there. Haven't been mentally able to focus on doing that, even though I did look online, did open up a LinkedIn, and I did apply for a few jobs. I've decided to take a different approach. That will be another episode coming later. But I'm not wanting to leave the job I have just because, as I've mentioned before, I do get a lot of benefits of working from home, not having to fork out petrol, not having to wake up extremely early or come home extremely late. I have a lot of freedom within my work and I enjoy that. So that is a definite benefit that you won't get having to go to the office. For example, if I needed to run out for a quick errand that would take me 15-20 minutes, I can do that in my lunch hour and be back. I don't have a lot of stress and I do enjoy my job. So I want a different or an additional form of income rather than getting a different job. So I've had to change my mindset around that. But that is something I'm still working towards. But like I said, I will discuss that later, maybe in February around finances. But we'll see. My next goal was to get fit and healthy. I always phrase it in that way because it's not about looking a certain way. It's not about achieving a certain measurement. It's not about looking like an example of an aesthetic goal. It's feeling healthy and fit within myself. I want to climb stairs and not be winded. I want to enjoy the food I'm eating. I want to enjoy the drinks I'm drinking and not have anyone badger me because I look a certain way. And I want to enjoy them for myself. I love food. I get excited to eat. And I don't intend to ever do it negatively because I know people do develop disordered eating habits because of those kinds of things, and that is something I'm firmly against. And it's why I've done things gradually. My mom, my brother, my sister, my father, everyone has helped. We still go out and eat. We still enjoy a good meal. We still have those things, but we also try and balance it with the rest of the week and eating healthy. So we've got fruits, we've got yogurts, we've got healthy proteins like eggs, ostrich, all those kinds of things. And we are more conscious. So from now on, instead of having roast potatoes on a Sunday, we have a side salad. Instead of having, a lot of carbs and rice and noodles and pastas and things, we have a brown rice or a couscous or something like that will alleviate some of those carbs but still fill you up. It's small changes that we've all tried to implement, and the best thing you can do is take it slow, not beat yourself up if you backslide, and always just immediately try and do better. And that doesn't mean depriving yourself of things. It maybe means cutting down. One of the things I always do is if I feel like drinking a gas cool drink or something not so great for me, I try and either dilute it or just have less. So with fruit juices, I would previously fill a glass with ice and then top it up with fruit juice. Now I actually just use about a half a glass of fruit juice and then top that up with water to dilute it so it's not so sweet, but I still get that flavor and that zing in my jaw because I do like a sour tropical or guava kind of a juice, especially at breakfast, and I can work that sugar off during the day, but I don't overindulge as I would have done previously because I would fill the glass with ice, drink the juice, there'd still be ice, I'd top it up. Instead, now I just half a glass of juice, top it up with water, drink it and enjoy. It's so much simpler and it's such a small change you don't even notice it, but your body does. Same thing with gas cool drink. I don't fill up a glass and drink it. I will rather share a glass with someone or have a sip of someone else's glass or just pour myself a smaller amount. So instead of a full glass, I'll drink a half a glass and things like that. I've always got a water bottle with water in it. I keep a bottle in the fridge with water so that I can just top up my bottle when I need, so it's nice and cool and refreshing. And small changes make a big difference. I also try and walk just in and around the house more often, and I try and stretch and do my yoga when I feel like it, which is a few times a week. It's not the best system, it's not the most consistent one, but it is better than nothing at all. And that is the kind of thing that I want to encourage. Small habits that you can build, because small changes lead to big changes. Small things add up to big things, and if you keep doing those things, you will see the results. Nothing has to be done the way I usually do by jumping into the deep end. You can take things slowly and gradually, and especially when it comes to your body can revolt against changes and just be like, nope, we don't want to do that. So don't go in too hard when it comes to that. Take it slow, take it easy, make small changes, your body will thank you. One thing I also do is I stretch in my bed when I wake up. I literally lay in bed and stretch. I get up and sit on the side of my bed and stretch some more, and then I stand up and I stretch some more. So doing small things definitely helps you, but do it in your way. To each their own. Nothing is set in stone. Take everything I say with a grain of salt and trial and error your way through it. See what works for you, Another thing I had on my list was to read more books. I can firmly say it's a no. And that's only because I've actually been doing a lot more research and focusing on other sources of information for the topics I'm busy preparing for, so to speak. So one of the things I'm going to be discussing is the 12 areas of your life, which is summarized into 12 different focal points of your life in order to maximize your enjoyment of it. That is something I'll be tackling in January, but I've been reading a lot of articles. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts on it. I've been deep diving into that, and I don't have any actual books specifically on that 12 areas. Other things are different kind of books. So I've been focusing more on research and articles as opposed to books. But I know it's something I'm going to get into in December just because I have a bit more free time. I've also been nailing down routines in the evening where I read, I write, I journal, I prep and I plan. So I've been laying the foundation. So there's that. Another thing I wanted to do was thrift more and bake more. I haven't been spending a lot of money, so I haven't been thrifting. I haven't been leaving the house, so I haven't been thrifting. And I have not felt like baking because other people in the house have baked. My mom has baked, my sister's baked. She made the most amazing cupcakes and icing. So I'm just like, if they're doing it, I don't need to. It's cool. I'll maybe do something in January because my sister's handling the dessert. There is a tiramisu dessert from scratch that I want to attempt this December. I will let you know. But for the most part, baking is something I've definitely put on the back burner just because I've been so busy with other things. But yeah, that is that. Decluttering my wardrobe. Good Lord. Decluttering my wardrobe is a goal I have been consistently working on for about 2 years now, maybe longer. And I did mention in my Black Friday weekend episode that I have been doing well with it. And the reason I know this is because when I packed for my 4-day trip to PE, I could fit more than what I needed in my travel bag. And my travel bag is basically a small carry-on, which is pathetically small, for a 4-day weekend. Yet I could take more than what I needed. And I needed a funeral outfit, I needed heels, I had tackies in there, I had all sorts of things in there, and I still had space. So it was not an issue. That is how I know I'm doing well. I still do want to declutter more of my wardrobe because I have a pants that I've literally worn out. 2 actually, they're jeans. So I know I need to buy new jeans. However, I don't actually need more clothes. Like, I'm not lacking. If I need clothes for any occasion, I have them. So I am satisfied with this goal. I think it's been well achieved. I do now need to rather focus on maintaining my wardrobe. I think I'll do that in my next goal. Like, maintain my wardrobe better, because I keep just folding things nicely and it lasts for about a week and then it just looks like a disaster again. So I think maintaining my wardrobe would be my next goal, but I do think I've achieved this one, so pat on the back to me for that. The last 3 goals. Okay, work on my photography for my Instagram. I think I did well on that one. I did upload a couple of stories when I traveled. I have a lot of pictures I still need to upload, but I did work on my photography. So I'm gonna say I achieved that and I just need to keep going with it. So it's a half done goal. Another one was get ready for a car. This one, I've thrown it against the wall. I didn't put it at the back burner. Like, I like the idea of a car. I don't need it. We've actually had our yard taken up because my father's a mechanic. He needed to store some cars on our home lot. So there's literally no space if I get a car. My mother and I share one, so that's fine. That just means I can put more money away for a car when I want it. So I'm not going to complain. But yeah, cars are expensive. Now is definitely not the time to be buying a car. So I'm actually going to scrap this goal from my list for now, and rather put it as a subsection in my finances and just have it as a small thing that I'm saving towards every month, because cars are a hefty commitment. You need to have the car payment if you're buying it, through a financial services. You need to have it saved up if you're buying it cash secondhand or something. You have to have insurance for the car. You have to have a service plan or some form of maintenance sinking fund for it, and an extra savings account for any unforeseen circumstances, as well as you need to constantly be putting in petrol and cleaning your car. So there's a lot of expenses in a car, and I'm not there. I'm okay sharing a car for now. And it is actually better because both my mother and myself do not use the car enough to warrant getting an additional one. At this point, there is no need for me to get my own car. It's not an inconvenience. That also ties into my job. I don't have to drive around for it. If I did, it might have been an issue at the house, but it's not. So it is what it is. And my final point in my goals was to get better at my day-to-day planning, because I had such limited time over this year with my sister coming in and out for weekends, being here half the weekend and leaving. It's been a mission. On top of that, I have my usual 9 to 5. I'm helping out at home. I'm doing my podcast. So there's been a lot that has been going on, and I do think I'm getting better at my planning my day to day, especially because I do it the evening before. I've also been working on planning my podcast better, so things have gotten much better in terms of the fluidity and the smoothness of the process. So I am going to say this goal has been 3/4 of the way. I think I still have a little bit of a ways to go in order to get it exactly where it's perfect, and then I'll just tweak from there. But I think this one has been nailed. I've got it. So yeah, that has been my goals for the year and how I think I've done with them. One thing I will say is January is my planning month, and I've actually redone my goals in a brand new way, which I'm excited to talk about. I did mention the 12 areas of your life plan, and that did open my eyes. Another one I would recommend you listen to is The Organized Money. She does an entire setup on how to create a life plan, how to go about organizing different areas of your life, how to break down things, not just finance-wise. So that would be a good recommendation if you want to look into it more. But I have droned on long enough. I don't think achieving your goals and knocking them out the park is the be-all and end-all of what you need to be doing in life. One thing I can say is this past weekend, my mom and I went to buy groceries, went to sit for lunch, came home and just chilled. And it was a really good time. So chasing and hunting down your goals and making them happen in the shortest time possible is not always the best way to go about things. Taking breaks, pausing to celebrate your victories, and then slowly starting up and getting moving again is always a good idea, especially coming into the end of the year with holiday season around the corner. I think we need to just celebrate, see where we are, reassess. Like I said, I'm actually getting rid of some of these goals, changing my mindset around them, scrapping them completely. And that is a good thing. Reassessing where you are is one of the best things you can do. That is what I will leave you with. The song of the week is Stop and Stare, which I think is a very good song that just encompasses everything. Like, stop, take a minute, look around, see where you are. And as I said in the Black Friday episode, evaluate, is this something I want? Is it something I need? Is it going to make a difference to me in my life? And then make your decision from there. That is it for me. Keep being a better being, and I will see you in Podmas. I'm very excited, but I will see you every day in December from the 1st to the 25th, and then have a final episode after, and then see you in 2023. I cannot wait. Love you. Bye.